XFM News on point.
The news on XFM. I'm Chris or Tim. National Resistance Movement presidential candidate Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has appointed a 12-man task force committee that will head the village-to-village campaign strategy. The committee, chaired by the party's national chairman Alhaji Moses Chigongo, was unveiled by the National Party Treasurer Rose Namayanja yesterday during the party's weekly press conference. Other members on the task force committee include Prime Minister Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, Party General Secretary Kasule Lumumba, Rose Namayanja, Richard Twodwom, Raphael Majezi, Millie Babalanda, Helen Seku, Evelyn Anite, Jackson Kafuzi, and Javida Semwanga. Namayanja says due to the COVID-19 SOPs, the party resorted to the new strategy of village-to-village campaigning for supporters not to convene in one place.
There are going to be meetings at every village. Instead of conducting huge rallies and that kind of stuff, and in compliance with the Ministry of Health COVID-19 guidelines plus the Electoral Commission guidelines, we are going to have village-based meetings where in those meetings we shall continue reminding ourselves about the core principles of the National Resistance Movement, about the service delivery issues in those areas, about the attributes of the NRM candidate at local, national, regional, and international levels in all facets of our national interest.
Namayanja also tasked the Electoral Commission and asked police to take action against other candidates who convene more than 200 people in one place, saying it contravenes the set standard operating procedures by the Ministry of Health.
Candidates do take oath, both presidential, parliamentary, and other candidates. They take oath to abide by the SOP guidelines. So we believe that the Electoral Commission is failing and should up their game as far as ensuring compliance is concerned.
The Forum for Democratic Change parliamentary candidate for Chadondo East, Apollo Kantinti, has criticized the security forces for denying the NUP presidential candidate Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu access to hotel facility. Bobi Wine, with his campaign team, spent the Thursday night on the roadside in Nigeria after being told by the security forces that they had orders not to allow them to return to Hoima for accommodation since they had already held campaigns there. Kantinti described as regrettable the act against Bobi Wine, casting the forces' image in bad light.
Right now, we're hunting for votes. Our business is to do with the people. We have to get out there to the people. So they have used COVID-19 as a guise to block these members from moving. But even if they're using COVID-19, why was he blocked halfway when they knew he was going into the next destination? 2 or 3, the Electoral Commission harmonized the presidential and the parliamentary program, and they knew where he had to be. So why would you deny him access to go and have a good night's sleep when the next day he has got to be on the road and keep on going? So this is the deliberate move by the government of Uganda. They may try to hoodwink us, but we do know what we're going to do as with the Honorable Kyagulanyi's communication and other candidates. We are going to keep on pushing and try to get to our information as many people as possible.
Now in Africa news, the main hospital in the capital of Ethiopia's northern region of Tigray is dangerously low on supplies as it treats the wounded from the fighting around the city. The Red Cross says on Saturday, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed had said that federal forces had taken control of the city. He described it as the last phase in the 3-week-long conflict with the Tigray People's Liberation Front. But the TPLF leader vowed to fight on. In a statement, a few details have emerged from Tigray throughout the fighting as communication have been cut. Now in sports news, Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta said he is not worried about his position after his side slumped to their worst start to a season since 1981 with a 2-1 defeat at home by Wolves in a game overshadowed by a nasty head injury to the visiting striker Raul Jimenez. The Gunners sit 14th in the table after 5 losses in 10 league games a year to the day since Unai Emery was sacked as head coach, and have been beaten in their past 3 matches at the Emirates Stadium. It's something that the day I decided to be a coach, I knew that one day I would be sacked or leave the football club, but I don't know when that is going to happen, he said. In this profession, I know it will happen, but I never worry. about it. Again, between two of the Premier League's lowest scoring sides was disrupted by a sickening clash of heads between Jimenez and David Luiz in the opening exchanges that led to the Mexico striker receiving treatment on the field for 10 minutes before being taken to hospital. And that's the latest XFM news.
XFM News on point.